Men of Reddit, what made you lose interest in the girl you wanted to ask out? She kept cancelling, then would reschedule. It became comical how many times it had happened. Just tell me you aren't interested in going out. I finally just stopped reaching out. Turns out I could not fix her, and instead fixed myself in the process. When I asked her about herself, she was happy to tell me all about it, but anytime I tried to share anything about myself, she seemed immediately disinterested, so I figured she just found me boring. She announced she was pregnant and wasn't sure who was the dad. Figured it would be best to avoid getting mixed up in that drama. Girl I worked with and we got along great. Talking to her one day and she says she's never dated anyone. I asked her why. She says because I haven't met anyone that can afford me. I have expensive tastes. I was 20, broke, and in college. We made the same amount, so that felt like her rejecting me without me having to even ask, lol. TBH, even if I had the money, I'm not the person for her. Completely different attitudes on finances. I was the one asking all the questions. The only one I'd get was how was your weekend, and then she'd interrupt with something about hers. She said no. She wanted to experiment with other girls and told me to wait until she was into guys again. I saw her with a guy, nothing against him, the way they looked at each other was something pure, something that I only saw in my parents. I couldn't even feel jealousy, I was happy for her and moved on. She cut off the bartender while he was telling her about the specials and said she didn't need food mansplained to her. The bartender was my friend and a very talented bar manager, and the menu was entirely his, which he was very proud of. I brought her there specifically for that level of personal service. She was visiting from out of town. I dropped her off at the hotel after and told her I was tired and went home. So embarrassing. She video called me drunk driving her car while smoking a joint. That was an instant no for me. She turned psycho after 3 drinks by threatening to beat and kill me. I left. She was an 8, but her breath was a 2. The way she treated other people. She told me there was some other guy she wanted to try first. My interest in her was instantly gone. She is awesome, very free-spirited, so much so that she's hours late for everything and won't commit to a date until an hour before, so it was just very frustrating trying to plan fun things. I watched her bitch out a Jimmy John's employee because she wanted to make sure they use fresh bread. When we drove away, she said fast food employees are stupid and never listen. What appalling and snobbish behavior. It was a shame such beauty was wasted on an ugly person. She had made false rape allegations. First of all, you're a terrible human. You ruin a person's life, on top of that you make all real rape allegations less credible. Second, why the hell would you think I want to be around you if you might falsely accuse me of rape? Each time I was talking, the only expression she had on her face was, hurry up and stop talking. I have more I want to talk about. Nope. 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 She found out I liked her through someone else telling her, and then she started being really mean to me for reasons I don't fully understand. It's like she decided to do everything she could to kill my attraction to her. It worked, but I would have preferred just having a conversation instead of the hurt feelings and the damaged friendship. We were pretty close before she discovered I had feelings for her. Saw her sucking another dude's dick. She couldn't hold a conversation to save her life. I would ask questions that would otherwise be engaging, but all I got was some short answers. Then she would not ask any questions back. The rule of thumb I learned was this: if it feels like job interview, then it's not gonna go anywhere. Met and fell for this punk girl back in the 90s. We planned to go out to a punk show at this gig at a venue that was way out in the woods on this property. That sounded fine. Shows in the Houston area were often like this. Then the more she talked and the more I learned, I soon realized it was a gathering of skinhead punks, and then I learned she was pretty involved in that scene. Instantly uninterested. Being generally dumb. Like having nothing interesting to talk about, knowing nothing about current events, politics, sports, pop culture, etc. when I ask them what they enjoy doing, and the response is I like having fun, no shit. But it's exhausting having to be the one to carry all conversations and make all plans. I asked her out. She said no. I started to walk away. She said, "Do you always give up so soon easily?" I started to run away. Seemed all there at work. When I dug deeper, her personal life was a fireball of drama. Noped the hell out of wanting to date her. Made me not want to be a work friend either. She called me to tell me that she started dating someone else. She lost her virginity to him and he turned around and cheated on her. She tried to come back to me for comfort and because she needed a friend. I said no, I'm good. Her level of hypocrisy and lack of self-awareness was unsettling. Played too hard to get. She became my best mate instead. She told me anything animated TV or movie related was meant for children. Her alcoholism. Back bitching about her friend. While talking she said I always get what I want. Bro, I checked out. She ended up being a 2-3 bottles of wine a night, terror. It was a Dr. Jekyll Mr. Hyde scenario. It's amazing how toxic and disgusting these winos become. She was attractive, intelligent, and we shared the same interests. But she used baby talk to get what she wanted. All I want is a witty biddy eatsy weetsy thingy, quess. And she had a volatile and ever-swinging mood meter. Others wanted her for her cuteness and feisty attitude. I wanted a lover who won't drive me crazy. I jerked off. I saw how she treated a waitress. We asked her if she wanted to try hockey, put it off 2 weeks, and when she came in had driven to the rink absolutely drunk. Flat out irresponsible and dangerous. Then left drunk within 30 minutes before we realized she had left and not just changed skates again. Edit for more context: she drove drunk home 30 minutes away. Worked in town but lived with parents. Apparently came from a friend's 21st. She told me she loved me after texting for only 2 days. Saw her at Walmart with another guy. The other guy was walking behind her, wheeling her shopping cart. It was 8 p.m. They were both wearing casuals pajamas. Her and I had momentary eye contact, and there was silent communication with her sheepish smile. Her social media was full of man-hating posts. She was one of those types who would screenshot her conversations and post them. She would brag about leaving dudes in read but at the same time complain about how she couldn't find a good man. I didn't want that kind of negativity in my life, no matter how juicy the booty was. I offered to buy her a coffee and she lectured me on the patriarchy. She fucked and married my dad. A couple years later I got drunk off my ass and fucked her. Confessed to my dad. They divorced. I am aware I was a piece of shit. When I found she talking to me because she wants my best friend. She couldn't talk for more than a minute without dropping something horribly racist. Gorgeous, funny, and otherwise incredibly intelligent, but no thanks. Went to the bar together to hang out. She got very wasted and proceeded to flirt with every dude who looked at her. Was very gross. She'd talk about her ex. She had 20 cats in a small apartment with weird names. I love cats and dogs, but this was really weird. She was lesbian. This happened a couple times. She had a FWB, which is fine, but she told me that they still did it when one of them was in a relationship. That kinda soured it for me. She told me she still spoke to her ex and was planning on meeting him over the weekend. But of a red flag indeed. I warned against it, but she still went to see him. Well, the day afterwards when I asked how it went, she starts telling me how the sexual tension was so intense that they decided to just do it. So yeah. She got mad after the first date when I didn't respond for one day. We had been texting for 3 days straight. I caught the flu and I slept all day, and when I was awake I just didn't feel like texting anyone. She was super angry, which felt way too possessive for someone I hardly knew. We were late for dinner reservations. She said, well, whatever, they're there to serve us. While technically true, that rubbed me the wrong way. The other one, even though I'm not a father, is how she refers to the father of her children. Unless they're like a flat-out felon, shit-talking your co-parent is not a good